planning to move to Brooklin, Whitby, Ontario, but you are unsure whether or not you should move here? Well, you're watching the right video. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cody Sturgess. I'm a realtor from the Durham region, Ontario, and with me, you can experience the difference. Brooklin is a neighborhood in the town of Whitby. While Brooklin is limited to a smaller geographical area, most people in the area call their home Brooklin instead of using Whitby. But is moving there worth it? Don't worry, in this video, we will discuss the pros and the cons of living in Brooklin, Ontario, which will help you make an educated decision. Stay tuned to the end as I have a bonus tip for you. Let's jump straight into it. Let's start with the pros, starting at number 5. Number 5, Brooklyn has a small town feel. If you like living in a small town while having access to all the amenities of the big city, Brooklyn is the place for you. Luckily, people who live in Brooklyn have a strong sense of community. People in this community generally know their neighbors, the owners of the shops in the area, and those who run the community. This makes for a close-knit community where people will look out for each other. Also, Brooklyn has quiet streets and places that are good for walking. People can walk around their neighborhood, go to the parks, go to the shops and the cafes close by, which makes the area very attractive and easy to get to. Now, coming in at number 4, most homes are relatively new. A small town vibe doesn't necessarily mean old designed homes. Many relatively new homes in Brooklyn, most of which are 20 years old or less, are perfect for modern buyers. Modern amenities, lower maintenance needs, customized choices, and energy efficiency are just a few of the things that are appealing to those properties. Often people want to buy because they can customize their living area, save more money on maintenance, and lower their utility bills, but also new houses often include warranties and adds more peace of mind. Moving on to number 3, it has diverse housing options. Brooklyn has a wide range of bigger detached, townhomes, semi-detached homes to suit everyone's needs. Families and people who want a lot of space will love the private single-family detached homes with a generous backyard space. Townhomes offer both personal and community feelings with a lower price point, and semi-detached homes are a good compromise because they have detached and connected parts. Brooklyn on the whole is a more upscale neighborhood, but you can still find housing that fits most people's budgets. Now, coming in at number 2, let's talk about the schools. If you have kids or you're planning on having them in the near future, having good school systems is a necessary thing to think about when you're moving to the neighborhood. And hey, it just turns out that Brooklyn has some great schools. They typically rank 14% higher than the national average. There are 8 public schools, 6 Catholic schools, and 1 private school located in Brooklyn. Brooklyn High School in particular gets great reviews. The school's good image comes from its commitment to academic excellence, helpful teachers, and various extracurricular activities. I have felt this firsthand with members of my family attending this high school. In addition to Brooklyn High School, the area has lots of good schools from kindergarten all the way to high school, so families have many options where they can go to school. This focus on education makes Brooklyn a more attractive place to live, attracting families who want to raise their kids in a safe place where they can do well in school and be with their friends. And last but not least, number 1, we have the downtown area. Who said you have to go someplace else to shop? No one. With many shops, pubs, bars, and parks in downtown Brooklyn, the area is active and helps the community stay strong and independent. People who live in the region like the local convenience of the shops and cafes. There are small shops with unique items, cozy cafes, and homemade treats. There are green areas along the busy streets that families and friends can go and get together and play and unwind. in the company of nature. This dynamic hub meets the daily needs and fosters a sense of belonging by bringing neighbors together, growing friendships, fostering a sense of community spirit. This makes Brooklyn a perfect place for both residents and tourists. I can speak to this firsthand as I owned an equestrian retail store for 6 years in the heart of downtown Brooklyn. Now, enough about the pros. Let's talk about the cons. Starting with number 3. The commute is more difficult. Well, here's the thing. Brooklyn is about a 15 or 20 minutes north from important transportation hubs like the 401 and the GO station, which makes commuting from Brooklyn a little harder. Residents may have to deal with longer travel times and fewer public transit options, which means you need to plan your trips out a little bit more in advance and in detail. If there aren't any close transit lines, people may have to rely on their own cars, which adds to traffic congestion. Even with these problems, some Brooklynites think the slower pace of suburban life is worth it because they enjoy the peace and sense of community from the neighborhood, even though it's harder to get to work. Moving on to number 2, let's talk about traffic congestion. If that wasn't bad enough, as Brooklyn develops and grows, more people and businesses are flocking to Brooklyn, which could make traffic worse and add to long-term trends of urbanization. More traffic will put a strain on current infrastructure, especially the downtown core, which is a single lane via Highway 12 both ways. So roads and transportation networks will need to be upgraded to handle the growing population. Also, the pressures of urbanization could change the landscape of the neighborhood by allowing business areas to grow and many new homes to be built. Finding a balance between the benefits of growth and protecting Brooklyn's unique character and high quality of life will be the key to solving these problems in a way that benefits the community for the long term. And last but not least, number 1, the cost. Last but not least, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Most of the time, Brooklyn, especially the northern parts of it, have higher home prices than other parts of Whitby. It's known to be a bit more affluent of a community. The higher price represents how desirable the neighborhood is, thanks to things like its new homes, great schools, and community amenities that can be used by everyone. Some people are ready to pay a little bit more for the home in Brooklyn because it has the charm of a small town while still being close to all the conveniences of a big city. Even though the higher prices might make it hard for some people to move there, they also show how valuable and good of a life it is to live in this popular neighborhood. Now, at the start of the video, we discussed a bonus tip, that being safety. Brooklyn is generally a happy and peaceful place to live in. Its crime rate is 53% below the national average, and neighbors and police say that few problems have been reported. Residents feel safe and calm because the community is watching out for each other with its small town vibes. If you found value in this video and you'd like to see more content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel along with my other socials. Once again, my name is Cody Sturgess. I'm a realtor from Durham Region, Ontario. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is in the description box below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. And remember, experience the difference with Cody Sturgess Realtor.